In this lesson, we're going to begin to see the true power of what subroutines can do. Okay, in the sim, we can see that the fan input brings on the fan output. Easy. And each heating valve output will come on when each individual temperature sensor goes below 20 degrees. This one does it. The second room works. And this one that represents the third room does it too. Okay, so the program works. That's fine. Jump out of here. Remember though, I said there was hundreds of rooms in this motel. Imagine now having to enter in another 100 or so of these scale functions and all their parameters for the next 100 rooms. Input, 0 to 4095, 0 to 100, output, and then do it again and again and again and again. That could take ages and get very boring. But with subroutines, as long as the scaling that we're doing is exactly the same each time, we only need to do it once. Check this out. The beauty of subroutines is we can use the same block of logic, for example, our scale function, but pass different parameters into it and out of it each time we use it. What do I mean? Right, what we can do is put this function in a subroutine. Send the value from temp1 to the subroutine. Do our scaling there in the subroutine. From the subroutine, send back this number and then use it here. Then, when we get to the next room, instead of scaling temp2 here in this function, we just send it to the subroutine, scale it the same way, send it back, and use it here. So even if we have 100 rooms in the motel or 1,000 rooms, we only need to use one scale function in our program. That will complete the scaling for all the rooms. All right, let's do it and then see how it works. Okay, first things first. Delete the room 2 and room 3 rungs here so the screen doesn't get too crazy and we can see what's going on. Don't worry, we'll put them back in at the end. Okay, and done. Okay, the next thing we need to do is have a place where we are going to store each temp and scaled temp before we move them to and from the subroutine respectively. Don't worry if you're not sure about what I'm talking about. It's going to make sense at the end. Okay, so values coming in from each temperature sensor only go from 0 to 4095 in the PLC. So that range fits nicely into an integer. So jump into the integer file, click on the first integer, n.0, and call it temp storage. Okay, cool. Now, as we see here, the scale temps use numbers with decimal points. So maybe the best place to put this number will be in the real file. So open the F icon and make the first F word F.0, call it scaled storage. Save, okay. So what we want to do next is move, so put a move function in, move the temp1 value to the temp storage. Then in the scale function, we now want to take our input value from the temp storage. Don't worry, I am going to come back and explain all this. Okay, then we want to do all our scaling, which is already entered in, and spit the number out to our scaled storage address. Then we want to move that value from our scaled storage to our scaled temp1. So this value goes to here, which is just a storage area. This function sees it, scales it, puts the result in this storage area. We then move it from there to here so that this function can use it to decide if it needs to bring on this output. Right, now we're going to delete this and rebuild it in the subroutine. I just kept it here so that you can see how it works. But so that the other rooms that we're going to add in can access it, we need to put it in a subroutine. So delete it, jump into subroutine 1. Don't forget to make sure it's highlighted. Add in the scaled with parameters function. We want the temp storage with a range of 0 to 4095 to be scaled to 0 to 100, and put the result in the scaled storage. Go back to the main routine, and don't forget, since we've deleted the scaled function from here and put it in the subroutine, we need to call it from the same spot. So put a jump to subroutine in here in its place, subroutine 1. And there you have it. In the sim, click on the temp 1 slider, which is this one by the way. This value, whatever it is moved to here. Then the program gets to here and jumps to subroutine 1. It takes the value from temp storage, does its calculations here, spits out the result to this address that we made. Now that all the logic located in the subroutine is finished, we go back to the main routine. This function moves this value that just got put in there in the subroutine to here, scale temp 1, where in the next rung, it reads from to decide if it needs to bring on this heat 1 output. Okay, in the next lesson, we're going to bring our other 2 rooms back into the program and use the same subroutine to scale each temperature sensor. Do you think it's going to work? Or do you think that there will be conflicting logic? Have a think about it. In the next lesson, we're going to find out for sure. Cheers.